Hello everybody! Today we're changing the oil on a 2007 Hyundai Elantra. It's a 2-liter. It's very easy. Let's get to it. Despite the missing components under my hood, the procedure will be the exact same. I'd start by removing the filler cap, and this will remind you that you haven't put oil in the engine yet later on. Okay. It is my preference to pull the oil filter before you start draining the oil. Just replace that and get it out of the way. Sometimes you'll have a car where the oil filter is close enough to the drain plug. In this case, the drain plug's back here. I don't think my drain plug is as wide as these are apart, so I'm not going to be able to drain the oil and have the oil filter open at the same time unless I have 2 drain pans. So first I'm going to take the filter out. Oh, come on. Okay, I need a set of pliers. Okay, this is not your only option to get oil filters off. At the store you'll find a bunch of filters. A bunch of filter sockets that you can just put on a ratchet, or filter bands, or filter claws, or the spider clamping socket. You know, this is not the only way, but it works very nicely. Okay, get your oil pan in place. Just crack it just to the point where you don't feel the O-ring anymore, and let it leak. Unless you have gloves like me, then just go hard. That was not so graceful, and I think I ruined my gloves. Alright, now you got the filter off. You're going to take a look at where it screws on. Make sure there's no O-ring right here. Make sure it didn't stick. Otherwise, you're probably going to destroy the engine. One good way to check is just flip over the filter and see if the O-ring's there, which it isn't. Where the... Well, it's not there. That's all that matters. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't just rely on the filter. So here's our new oil filter. Here's our new oil. Shook the can a little, got a little bit of oil. We're going to put that on the O-ring. And the reason being, the ability to remove the filter next time. Okay, so now when you go to install your filter, it should turn on very, very easy, providing you have the correct angle, which is very hard for me at the moment holding this camera. Sometimes you think you have the wrong filter. Come on. Oh, there we go. Caught the threads. Okay, the factory directions for the torque are you spin it on till it contacts right about there, and then you're supposed to do 3/4 of a rotation. And that's about 3/4 right there. But my personal rule is go as tight as you can with one hand, which is almost a 1/4 turn more. Which is fine. I never really have an issue with that. Okay, well, this is your drain plug right here. Feels like a 13mm, which is odd. Looks like somebody replaced this bolt. Here's a 13, which is not a size you should find on an import vehicle. Threads still feel good. Alright, line up your tray. If your oil is hot, it's going to spray a lot further than if it's cold. This is a cold engine. I'll show you what happens. There, careful not to lose your O-ring. And then I'm going to wait like 5 minutes till it's going drip, 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 and close it. Or just wait till it's completely done. You're never going to get all the oil out of an engine. Every time you do an oil change, there'll be half a liter, maybe even close to a full liter still stuck in the engine, depending. Now on my Elantra, I don't have this cover that goes right here. And while you can do the oil change without removing the cover, you just remove the filter from the top, but you're going to get it pretty dirty, and it's going to, over time, grab the dust from the air and start to look pretty crappy. So I suggest doing everything from the bottom. We're gonna put the drain plug in now. I've had this open for a long time. It's not even dripping anymore. Oh, wait, there we go. There's one drop. Okay. And And do not over tighten these if you strip this bolt. Usually it's a royal bitch, but on this car, seems like the easiest oil pan to change I've ever seen. And before you change it, you can go and buy a repair kit for this, which has slightly larger threads, which is the size that doesn't exist. It's in between the two sizes that do exist, and it'll cut new threads. They're the exact same angle, and it'll just grab on, and you can force it in, and it'll be good. They're pretty cheap, but if you fuck that up, oh, pardon my language, you have to change the oil pan, which is 10 bolts, 1 gasket, clean it, done. But if this is your first oil change, that is a huge job. For a first timer, first job on a car, you don't want to get into that. So let's just tighten the bolt to, put a wrench on it and push as hard as you can with the wrench with one hand. Maybe not quite that hard, but like from a bad angle. You do not want to over tighten this. Do not use an impact. Do not use a long bar. Do not use a bar on a wrench. Just tighten it to the point where you know it's not going to fall out, and then check it later on to see if it's leaking. And if it is leaking, most likely it's going to be 1 drop per 1,000 kilometers, so I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, so you drain the oil. You changed the filter, you plugged the oil. You installed the filter. Next step is to add the oil. Now, this engine, I don't know how much oil it takes. It's between 4 and 6 liters. I'm going to assume that, just from all the oil changes I've done before. I'm going to start with 3.9 liters, and I'm going to check it. Okay, that's 3.9 liters. I'm going to take my very, very clean rag and my oil stick. I'm going to wipe it off. Alright, and then you stick it in all the way, pull it out. Alright, 3.9 liters puts us up to maximum. It's right under the full. I don't know if you can see that. That is the perfect level for now. So what I'm going to do is take the funnel out. I'm going to install the oil cap. Next step, start your car and run it for 5 to 10 seconds. I have parts removed, so I can't start it right now. Okay, just pretend that I started the engine. Okay, I can't start it because of all this stuff. Alright, so I've started the engine. I checked the oil level. It's gone down to about halfway up. So you top that up, check it 2 minutes later. You got a perfect level. You're done. That's all there is to it. It'd be good to set a reminder or put a sticker in your windshield, just right there in the corner. You can see the old service note right there. And I don't like to rely on the trip counters because they get reset sometimes, or like if you do change your battery, then you don't know when your oil change was. Unless you have a newer car. I think most newer cars, like more German brands and stuff like that, actually hold on to that information when you disconnect the battery, but that's due to the fact that they have an auxiliary battery. They're always getting power. Yeah, well, thanks for watching my video. There will be tons in the future. Comment, like, subscribe, and have a nice day.